Okay, so these valentines, they're pretty fast and easy, so I'm just going to show you how to do this step by step. So, what you're going to do is you're going to start out with body shape, which basically you're going to draw 3 circles. So first you need to decide how you're going to do it. I have a whole bunch of these that I've already done. You can do it, there's about 1 of 3 ways that you can draw these. You can do it that way, or that way. Or you can do another way if you can think of another way, but when you draw it with a side view with it looking up like this, it kind of looks a little weird, so I usually don't do that. So first of all, you pick which way you want to do it, and you come up with an idea for your dragons. All of these are different. I do a different thing for each of these, so just think of what you're going to do for yours. These are valentines, so you're going to do a valentines type kind of message thing. So I think I'm going to do just a side view. And so you're going to start by drawing, actually I'm going to do a front view. So you start by drawing your circles. So this one is going to be a little bit smaller than this one. You have this is your body, and then this one is the back side of your dragon. You need to pause this video so that you can follow along. Go ahead and do that, but do your own dragons. It's not as fun if you just copy. Anyway, and so you do these 3 circles. Since I'm doing it from front view like this, I'm putting up the head a little bit closer. If you're going to do it from a side view, you'd put the head about right here. If you're going to do it so that it's looking down, you'd put the head in about the same place, but instead of putting the neck like this, you would put the neck like this. So it's a bit different for each of them. And also you can do the head on either side. It doesn't need to be on the same side. And so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect all of these and I'm going to draw the tail. For the tail, these are bookmarks, and so you're going to want to make sure that the tail can hook over the page, and you want to keep it free from the wings or anything. On a couple of these, I've had to move the wings around to make sure that it stays away, especially on these kinds of, on the side views it's really easy, but sometimes I had to do weird things, like on this one I did the wings in a heart shape. And then on this dragon, I had to be a little creative because it was catching its tail, and so I just did a little slit so that so that you can disconnect it. Anyway, and so then you draw the tail. You can decide how you want the tail to go around. I do them a whole bunch of different ways. Sometimes I do it swirly, sometimes I just kind of put it up like this. Sometimes I'll just do a little wave thing, just do whatever you want to do. And then so before I draw the neck, I usually put the head in first so I can see how the neck goes. So for these ones, you're not going to be able to see the mouth because they're kind of facing forward. And so I bring the chin down a bit, and then you just kind of draw your head. You might like drawing the head differently from the way that I do it. And that is okay, but I usually do kind of an angular type face, but it's more like a diamondish shape, kind of like 2 diamonds connected together. But you can do whatever you want. And then I do the neck. For these ones, I usually just kind of put a thing like that, and then I go down here. For my other ones, I'll actually draw a line showing where I want the neck to go before I draw the actual things for the neck. But for this one, since it's just facing forward, I don't really need to do that. I just need to do 2 little U shapes. One is an upside down U, frowny face, one is a smiley face, and you do that. And then connecting these 2 like so. You don't really have to do that, but it kind of helps me keep things visually. And then you make the tail a bit thicker. Try to keep it level so that it flows nicely, so that it's not like skinny fat, you know, because that's weird. Try and keep it so that it's gradually getting smaller and thinner towards the end. And make that look nice. And then I am going, for this one I'm going to have the wings, I think, holding the Valentine, the heart or something, and so that would make this come in a bit closer than I usually do them. And so for the wings, I just kind of do, see right here I have 3 lines, and then, so it's really just a whole bunch of angular shapes for these wings, not a whole lot of smooth lines, and then I do 2 bumps for this, and it comes up. You don't need to be like super specific on these because they're just kind of little cute things, and it looks interesting if it's more diverse and not quite as much as you planned it. It looks more interesting and cool, but you know, you can do whatever you want for yours. You don't have to follow exactly everything that I do. Anyway, and so then you define these bones in this wing, and I'm going to come in here just a little bit and then leave these 2 close together, and then you do little things here for that, and then I always put this in front of this part. And for these I usually only do 2 things for the wings. When I do more realistic dragons I usually do more, but for this one I'm just kind of suggesting that they're there, and so I don't need a whole lot in there, and it would take up too much space and it wouldn't look very nice or clean, and so I just do 2. And then I just do the same thing for the other wing. And there I have both of the wings done. So don't worry too much about being perfectionistic with these, because they're just little quick drawing Valentine's bookmarks, you know, and so just have fun with them. And then I'm going to put a little heart here, and I'm having the wings hold them, and so it's going to be in between those. And then write your little note, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to do Happy V-Day. And then for the eyes are just diamonds. They're a little bit large, and then you're going to want to do them just a little, like, don't do them straight up and down because that makes them look kind of angry. If you do it more sideways, then it looks fun, and then you just draw the pupil in there. I usually don't color them in for these. And then a nose, which is just kind of a triangle. That was a bit big. You just draw a triangle, and then you put another, and then you color it in just underneath there. And yeah, and then that's your basic outline of the dragon. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline it with a pen. I'm going to outline it with a pen, and then I'm going to color it in, and then I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so sorry, one thing that I forgot to add in here is you need to do some kind of spikes. You just kind of make up whichever ones you want to do. For this one I think I'm just going to do diamond spikes. And so all that you do for the spikes is you start at the nose, and then you start to bring them up over the head, and it usually comes up kind of sideways for most of them. Besides these ones, because these ones are a little bit different, but like for most of them, when I'm doing like a front view or a side view, I'll draw the spikes and then I'll put a line underneath it to show that that's where it goes, and then once it comes to the top of the neck, then I just follow along. And then for the ones that are facing forwards, these are the only ones where you'll see it along the back. For the rest of them, like for this one, you only see it along the head and the neck, and then for this one, it disappears behind the wing and then goes up the tail a little bit. This is the only one where you see the full line of the spikes, and you do that. Okay, and so now I'm going to outline it. For reals this time, okay? Okay, so now you're gonna pick 3 colors plus red for your heart. And you're just gonna start coloring it. For these, I usually, for these ones I color them very light. I did some other dragon bookmarks where I did very dark coloring and I mixed the colors and everything, but these ones are just kind of simple valentines that I'm giving to friends, so I'm not doing a whole lot with it. So you're picking 3 colors because what you have the body color, the wings, and the back scale spikes color, and then you also have 1 color for your eye. And yeah, that's all that you're using all of the colors for. And you just kind of pick all the spots that you think need to be shaded. You do a little bit darker right at the edges where it kind of comes together, and then just kind of light shading where there's nothing really over the top of it, as you can see here. And there's not really a whole lot that you do. You pick your 3 colors, shade it in a little bit, color it in very lightly. I'm not doing super dark here or anything. And yeah. Okay, so now you're just gonna cut it out, and then you are done with your Valentine, and you can make a whole bunch of them to hand out to all of your friends and have a good time.